Hands-on Reading When Teaching Technical Text by Katherine Cable. Examples of technical text include menus, directions, brochures, pamphlets, recipes, product manuals, and help websites. Technical text can be found in science, reading, language, math, social studies, computer and technology courses, any type of center work, indoor recess games, and health and fitness classes. Despite the different ways technical text and hands-on reading can be used in the classroom, research shows that teachers tend to shy away from this type of instruction due to confidence. This can limit students' exposure to this type of material and provide students limited chances to practice. Due to their low levels of confidence in their effectiveness, these teachers may avoid science experiments and other inquiry experiences to prevent any challenging outcomes. So remember, teachers aren't the only ones who struggle with technical text. Students often view technical text as challenging for several reasons. The style in which technical text is written can be overwhelming. Technical texts do not provide motivation for the reader to continue reading. Technical text can be very dry. And reading a technical text and performing its actions requires knowledge of domain-specific vocabulary. Technical text follows a just the facts approach to reading. You're given just enough information to perform the task. There is no extra. Technical text also follows a goal, action, outcome organization. So for example, you want to bake a lemon cake. Your goal is to have a lemon cake ready to eat. The action would be the recipe instructions, and your outcome is a fully cooked, decorated, and ready to eat lemon cake. Setting the purpose. The goal, action, outcome organization provides an excellent opportunity to set the purpose for reading. Students should preview and discuss the text before reading or performing tasks listed in the text. Writing these on a sticky note or the top of a reading worksheet for the assignment can help students keep this focus in mind while working. So basically, just have the purpose posted so students can keep it in mind. Technical text might include pictures, diagrams, or illustrations in the reading. Readers will consult these visual aids only as needed to accomplish the task at hand. Technical text also contains content-specific vocabulary. These types of text assume readers are familiar with the vocabulary presented. Technical text also assumes readers are familiar with the procedures being outlined, i.e., readers are familiar with what it means to measure an object. They know what the verb measure requires of them. They can visualize the action in their mind. Hands-on reading with a technical text assumes that the reader will be doing while they are reading. Readers will return to the text often. This is the start and stop approach. Readers will set aside the document to translate the reading into action, and then they will return to the text. This strategy requires the use of problem solving while reading. The advantages. It builds student independence. Students are required to rely on the text for instruction and not the teacher. And this goes back to the confidence piece from earlier. Low, self-efficacious teachers are cited to rely on the overly use of teacher-directed instruction, such as text-based instruction or lecturing, and characterized by authoritative, teacher-centered roles. So remember, hands-on reading with visualizing builds independent readers by allowing teachers to step back from the instruction and allowing students to rely on comprehension strategies. The advantages. It requires students to be more flexible in their approach to reading. It requires students to rely on many different reading comprehension strategies. Specifically visualizing as students pull away from a text to check their understanding, carry out an action, and return to the text. Visualizing requires students to picture the finished product in their mind, as well as the current step in which they are working. Some pre-reading activities that I came up with. These will depend on students' experience with technical text. So a specific language activity would require students to practice taking a general word and making it more specific. They could brainstorm a list of places where technical text can be found in real life. They can have a verb brainstorm since technical texts are very action-oriented. They will require specific practice visualizing as they read using a variety of texts. This just allows moments for students to stop, sketch, and write what they are visualizing. It allows students to brainstorm on why they think reading technical text can be so difficult. These responses can be a great place to start for your instruction. During reading, provide opportunities for students to stop and visualize a step in their mind before acting. This can be a great step to model, and allow students to discuss this visualization with a partner. During reading, you can also create a 2-column chart and use it to track students visualizing work. One side can have what the text says, the other can have a quick sketch of their visualization or a quick sketch of words to let you know that they are picturing something in their mind. Hands-on reading with the technical text should emphasize the following steps during reading. Size up the task, clarify vocabulary, scan the visuals, look out for cautions, read and apply, and collaborate. Size up the task. Look at the text in its entirety before completing any action steps, and familiarize yourself with the content. Think, what should the final outcome look like? Remember that hands-on reading with the technical text follows a goal, action, outcome format. Students will need to return to this purpose for reading frequently. Clarify vocabulary. Identify what key terms are used in the text, which terms are known and which terms are unfamiliar. Determine or identify if the text provides any assistance to readers for unknown terms. And decide what to do if the text does not define or elaborate on certain vocabulary. What resources are available to help students solve these problems? Scan the visuals. Look for any visual information available. Compare visual information with the actual objects needed to complete the task. Look out for cautions. Readers need to be aware of the consequences for not following instructions carefully. So establish, will this project be ruined or will I be injured if certain steps are not followed? Read and apply. Read a small segment, clarify the message in your mind using visualizing, then physically apply the information. Students should check their visualizing with diagrams or illustrations or pictures present in the text. And rereading is okay. Rereading confirms thinking and actions. This can also eliminate a lot of mistakes and simple errors. Collaborate. Hands-on learning requires problem solving. Therefore, students will often be working with each other. Interaction with others is critical in the problem solving needed for technical text. End results. By following the 6 steps outlined in hands-on reading, students are allowed to build independence in their reading. Students will not rely on teacher instruction for information, as technical text provides all the needed information. This also provides practice with visualizing, as students read and reread to correct their thinking before performing any action. At the end of the task, it is important for students to be able to reflect. The following questions require reflection on each of the components of hands-on reading. Size up the task. Students need to identify what was my task and how did my goal compare to the outcome. Number 2, clarify vocabulary. Students should be able to identify familiar words and new words. Number 3, scan the visuals. Students should identify the text features present and how these visuals help them read and apply the information. Number 4, look out for cautions. What cautions did students have to pay attention to while reading? Number 5, read and apply. How did visualizing help students with the task? Number 6, collaborate. Students need to be able to identify what went well with their group and what needs improvement. And this is my works cited. This is the last slide of my presentation. Hopefully you have gained some important information and helpful information for your classroom. Thank you very much.